Hi there, Lyric Services. Trisha Warner here with your weekly Pilates work. Today I'm bringing you outside to show you some really practical things you can do for your body while traveling. So my travel videos seem to be pretty popular. People, find that there's some flexibility in being able to take these programs into different environments. So I have quite a few patients who, they experience discomfort in their body from long car trips, for example. So that's where I wanted to take you today. I want to show you some very practical, quick exercises you can do right at your rest stop or when you get to where you're going. But if you're taking breaks and you stop at a gas station, you can pull your car over to the side and do some practical stretches and exercises that don't look too weird that will keep you feeling good so that you can really enjoy yourself when you get to where you're going. So we're not going to spend the whole time on the car stuff because that's going to be pretty short and concise because it's just going to be things that the basics that you can get done in 5 to 8 minutes along your route. And then I'm going to take you over to the mat and we'll do some core activation and some stabilization exercises. So I'm going to show you 2 variations of the exercises today. So one using the car, but if you're doing this from your home office, you don't need to go outside to your car. Just grab a chair. So I'll show you the movement using the car, and then I'll show it to you using the chair. So if you're in your home office, stay where you are, grab your desk chair, not on wheels because we're gonna put our feet up on it and stuff. So it's sturdy chair will work just fine. All right, so you're on a 4-hour road trip, you stop an hour or 2 in, you're like, oh gosh, my back is tight, when you get out of the car, you're kind of like, ooh, the leg muscles are really restricted. So I'm going to show you some things for that right now. So the first thing you can do is, leaving the door all the way open, is put your hands on the top of the door frame, walk your feet back. You're essentially coming into a plank, but using the car like the floor. So you're going to lower yourself into a diagonal, but you want to keep the tummy engaged. So think about pulling the belly button in as you hold this position and get a nice stretch through the back of the calves while you're at it. So we're not arching, our shoulder blades are down, our spine is nice and long, there's energy out from the top of your head. You're putting some weight into your hands and engaging here as you find this plank position. That's it to start. I just want you to find neutral. So if you tend to arch your back, tuck your tailbone under, that's why I said pull your tummy in and find that neutral position, that's all. And then come on out of it. So using the chair for that, so you can do it again if you are using your chair, which you likely are, because although being on YouTube, you could pull this up on your phone when you are out and about. If you're camping with your car, you can do it there too. So hands on the back of the chair, find the plank. Make sure your chair is not going to move. Pull the belly button in, weight in the hands, find that strength. Feel the stretch down the back of your legs, and then come out of it. So that's the plank. Next one is going to be to open up the front of your thigh. You can use the top of your car or the side, wherever it's comfortable for you. Bring one leg up behind you, grab your foot. Now the idea isn't to bring the foot to your rear end, it's to bring the hip forward. So think about pushing your hip forward. That's going to lengthen the front of the thigh. Then if you don't feel a stretch, go ahead and bend your knee a little more, bringing the heel towards your rear end, but don't feel like it has to touch. Make sure that your knee is next to your other knee. If you're way out here, you're not going to be getting the right stretch either. So that's using the car. And then I'm going to show you over here using the chair. So you're going to bend one knee up, use the back of the chair, push your hip towards the top of the chair, opening up the front of the thigh. Then if you don't feel a stretch, you can bend that knee a little more. Not always necessary. Find the stretch, breathe into it, and then come out of it. You can do 1 to 3 of each of these. If you're doing a short rest stop, maybe just 1 of each would be enough. But if you have more time and you feel like you need to do a little more, go right ahead. Next, we're gonna come into the hamstring. So you're going to, I'm gonna kick my shoe off so I don't get dirt in my car. You could, if your hamstrings are super tight, you could start on this low threshold and just get your leg up like this and hold that stretch there. I'm thinking maybe I should show you on the chair first, since you're likely practicing there. I'm going to switch it up. So let's start on the chair, and then I'll show you how to do it on the car. So find the stretch with the legs straight. Weight is on your heel, standing up nice and tall on this leg. If you don't feel a stretch with your leg up on the chair, all you have to do is hinge forward from the waist, leaning your shoulders forward until you do find that stretch. Found it, right? Good. And then come back up. Great. We're going to do the other leg. I'll show you in the car now. So you're going to bring that leg up to the low threshold. If your hamstrings are longer, go up to the seat. Standing up nice and tall and strong on that standing leg. If you don't feel the stretch, you can hinge forward from the waist. And then, aha, there it is. The other thing you can do is rotate the leg in and out a little bit, like a little windshield wiper with the foot flexed, to kind of change the angle of pull with that. Perfect. Okay, we're gonna stretch our piriformis next. So you can sit in your chair for this one. Make sure you're sitting up nice and tall on your sits bones, and then you're gonna cross one leg over the other. Put your ankle right across your knee, and you're sitting really tall. This one you can work into your workday quite easily in your chair. So the lower you're sitting to the floor, the more challenging and aggressive the stretch is. So if this is too much, find a higher sitting surface. If you feel like you need more of a stretch, try to get a little lower. I'll show you that on the car in a second. So once you cross that ankle over the knee, you're just leaning into it and finding that stretch. Pause and breathe when you feel it. Should be in the back of the hip of the bent knee that's over the other one. Good. And then I'm going to show you in the car to do the other side. But if you can stay in your seat if you'd like. I like to sit on the threshold to get a bigger stretch. But you can, if you're tight in your hips, sit right up on the seat of the car. So it's up to you. You can be here and lean forward with a flat back, not rounded, flat. You're like leaning your chest over your thigh, and this is the more aggressive stretch here. So find your stretch and just wait. Give it some time to stretch out. Excellent. You can uncross your legs, and we're going to move into, so we did the back of your thighs, the front of your thighs. We did the back of your hip now. We're going to come back to a little bit of a spine stretch here. So we're going to add rotation. Rotation is one of the more gentle spine mobilities. You know, people don't tend to hurt themselves doing rotational exercises unless it's combined with another motion like rotation and flexion kind of stuff. So we're gonna come into, let me show you on the chair first, since you're in your home likely. Facing the chair, you're gonna bring one arm out in front of you, and we're gonna arc this arm all the way up, like you're drawing a big circle, and then turn your shoulders and your head in the direction of your arm and bring it all the way down. So it's just a nice big circle. We're gonna do 3 times on each side. I'll show you on the car the other one. So you're gonna be here, lift the arm up, stretch it around. I mean, if you were doing this in a rest stop parking lot, everyone would know you're on a long trip and you just need to just stretch a little bit. Last one, oh, it feels so good. And relax. So we did a little rotation. Now let's do some lateral flexion. So that's gonna be, I'll show you on the chair again. So you're gonna stand with your side to the chair. Now know how sturdy your chair is before you do this. You're gonna bring the opposite arm up overhead and take that hip away from the chair. So see how my chair is kind of tippy? So I'm not really pulling on it. I'm just using it as a little balance assist and more of a guide of where I'm going. So I'm coming into a side bend stretch. I'm pushing this hip that way, coming into the stretch, and then coming back up. All right, I'll show you on the car on the other side. So for this, you could either reach under the car here, you could hold the top, or you could use that little handle that we call the oh shit bar. Grab that, has another purpose for stretching, so you could grab that, and then reach the other hand up, lean your hip away from the car as you come into your side bend stretch. Find it and breathe. You can also do this while you're waiting for your kid to finish their sporting event and come on out. My son is always the last one out of the dugout, so I usually have a little bit of time at the car. All right, so we did side bend, right? Let's do extension next. So using your chair again. So this is also a great, little coffee break stretch in addition to a travel stretch. So hands on the top of the chair, find that plank-like position we started with, but this time we're gonna add a little bit of an arch. I want you to think about lifting your heart up to the sky. So you're gonna lean forward. Maybe I'll give you a side view of this here. So you're gonna think about bringing your heart up to the sky. At the same time, your hips are going slightly to the chair. So plank first, shoulders down away from your ears, nice long tall spine. And then gently lift your heart up. Your eyes are gonna follow. You're gonna gaze upwards as you gently bring your hips forward. It's small, it's not a big stretch. It's gentle. And then come out of it. Good, let's do that one more time. Oh, I'll show you on the card. So here, pull the tummy in. You don't wanna just bend at the back. You wanna control the extension. So draw your tummy in a little bit. Pull that belly button towards your spine. And then lift your heart. Gaze upwards a little bit. Don't let your head drop up. It's just a gentle gaze forward as you bring your hips slightly towards the car. Find the stretch and then come out of it. Great. Okay, we're gonna come into hip flexion from here. So using your chair in your office, you're gonna bring one foot up on the chair. Back leg is gonna stay straight. You're gonna bend the front leg into a big lunge. So you're gonna lean forward. You could always put the chair next to the wall if you need more support. So you're coming into a front lunge. Knee should stay over the foot, not go way forward. Just, it can come over the toes, but you're getting a nice stretch through the back of the straight leg in the back and hip flexion on the front, and then press out of it. We're gonna switch and do the same thing on the car. Other leg comes forward. The other leg, your back leg is straight, your heel is down. I'm gonna move my arm so you can see here. I'm gonna bend my front leg, come into a deep lunge. I mean, how easy is this to do in the car? It's such a great stretch to open up the front of this hip, the back of the bent hip, and get the calf. It's a lot all at once, which is great. I like multi-beneficial exercises. And then come out of that. Great job. So we took the hip in all of its directions. We took the spine into rotation, lateral flexion, extension. What are we missing? You guessed it, flexion. We're missing flexion. So I would do that with a simple roll down. But in order, if you've been on a long car ride, I would say most likely the tightest muscle that you're going to experience when getting out of the car is the hamstrings. We stretch the hamstrings with this, right? I'm going to give you a second one because that's how tight they get. So before we do our roll down and risk putting any stress into our low back, we're going to do one more hamstring stretch because those hamstrings can be so stubborn. That was the purpose of last week's video, right? So you can use your car or you can use the chair. Let me show you the chair first. You're coming into just a standard flat back stretch. So you're going to walk back and get your sits bones away from the chair, a nice flat back. Knees stay mostly straight. If there's a slight bend, that's okay, but I want them as straight as you can. Try to get your back so flat I could set a table on it, okay? Nice flat back. Find that stretch down the back of the legs. Breathe into it, and then come out of it. I'll show you on the car. So you can be just here with your hand on the side of the car. Walk back a little bit. Most important, tailbone away. So stick your rear end way out. Stick your tailbone out. Nice flat back. It opens up the shoulders nicely. And stretch it out. Good, and then come all the way up. So the other thing that gets very tight when we drive is the front of our shoulders, right? But we kind of opened that with that book opening like variation that we did for spine rotation. So we already hit that. Like I said, I really tried to select exercises that would be quick and multi-purpose. So we opened up the chest, we moved our spine in every direction, we stretched out the legs that get so tight. Last stretch is spine flexion to put it all together. If you have a history of disc injury, then skip this one. Don't do flexion. It's too risky. But if you have a healthy spine and you're just tight from a long drive, inhale, standing nice and tall. Exhale, nod your chin to your chest. We're coming into roll down. You know this one. Round down through your back, come all the way forward. Find the stretch, breathe into it, and then rolling all the way back up. And depending, like I said, on how much time you have, do 1 to 3 of these. Let's do one more here. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, roll. Find the stretch. Shake your head out. You hold a lot of tension in your neck when you're driving. And roll back up. And that's really driving or a passenger. It's more the negative effects of being immobile in the car and just, or plane, you know. So some good things to do. You can fly, and then when you get your rental car, do some stretches while you're there. Okay, we're gonna shift gears. So that was my car travel stretch program, also office stretch program. We're gonna come to the mat, which I set up over here. So let me give that a little redirection here. Maybe here. Thought I had it set up perfectly. I think the sun moved. There we go. All right. So let me show you some basic core activation. So separate from the car stuff, I know you're not gonna lay out a yoga mat at a rest stop, so I don't expect you to. So kind of 2 programs in one today. We got, you know, the 15-minute travel stretch, which could get down to 5, I promise you. So if you practice this a couple times, it'll become so automatic when you're at that rest stop. You could even screenshot some of the stretches that I do so that you just have the photos on your phone. And when you get to the rest stop, you hop out, find your plank, do the quad stretch, right? You know, not rushed, but moving for sure. Hamstring, figure 4, you know, spine, lateral flexion. I probably missed some. Roll down, done. You know, it can become very easy where you don't even have to think about it, just kind of a habit. All right, we're gonna come onto the mat. Lay down on your back. Knees bent, feet flat. We're already warmed up. We're gonna start with a few bridging to turn on the back body a little bit. Oh, it's so pretty here with the trees and the blue sky. It's so nice to work out outdoors. So on a nice day, I definitely recommend it. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, keep the tummy tight, lift the hips up. Inhale, back down. Exhale, lift 2 and down. Lift 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You got 2 more, you do. 9 and 10. Great job. Hands behind your head, coming right into chest lift. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, lift the head and shoulders. Inhale, back down. Exhale, lift again. Now, if I put my head on the other side of this mat, it'd be much harder because the grass is sloping that way. I kind of gave myself an advantage being with my head on the high side. 5 more. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Really trying to roll through the spine. 5. Excellent job. Bring one knee up to your chest and pull it in nice and close. We already stretched, so I'm going to take this other leg out on a diagonal. Lift your head and shoulders. Pull that knee in towards your chest. You're going to exhale as you switch your legs. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathing out. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Last 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Not easy, right? Bring your head and shoulders down. Gently rock your knees side to side. Oh, that's some good abdominal work there. We're gonna keep our head down and work our spine in neutral now. So one leg in tabletop, other leg in tabletop. You know your neutral spine, so keeping just a small space in the low back, arms down by your sides. If this position you are like, working really hard, put one leg down and just do one leg at a time. All right, I'm gonna bring both legs up. We're gonna arc down, tap the floor, lift it back up. You can make this even harder by flexing the feet and tapping the heel. It's a bigger range, longer lever load. I'm gonna go for it. 5, 6, 7. Keep that back still. 2 more. Hold it up, other side. Lower and lift 1, 2. Breathing, 3, 4. Make sure that knee stays at a 90-90. The hips at 90 degrees, the knees at 90 degrees, and actually since we're flexing the foot, the ankle's at 90 degrees. I think we have 2 more. I may be wrong. And that's good. Put one foot down and the other foot down. Separate your feet nice and wide on the mat. Bring your arms out to a T, palms facing the grass or the ground, wherever you are. Bring your knees over to one side, come into a nice rotation stretch, and bring it on up and go over to the other side. Good, back and forth. One more. That's good. Come on up, bring your feet together. All right, we're coming into crisscross, so getting a little bit more oblique work. Try to give your neck a little bit of a break, but if that wasn't long enough, just keep your head down and move the legs. But if you can add your head and shoulders, you're gonna get more work in the obliques. One knee comes up to tabletop. I'll show you on this side. No, this side. Lift your head and shoulders. Other leg goes out to the diagonal, and you're gonna turn your shoulders towards the bent knee. So I'm bringing my shoulders towards the bent and trying to lift that opposite shoulder blade off the ground. That's it. 2, 3, 4, 5. Can we do 10? I think so. 6. If you get tired, stop. 7. Be happy with what you did. 8. I'm going for it. 9 and 10. Woo, great job. Roll over onto your side. Come on up to quadruped. A little bit more back body activation here. So strengthening the core isn't just strengthening the abs, right? That's just one piece of it. Yeah, you gotta do all sides. Nice circumferential strength to support your spine. So we're coming into the back body strengthening part of it now. So nice flat back. This is an exercise, if you've been doing this program with me. We're gonna do opposite arm and leg lifts. So you're gonna lift one leg up, the opposite arm, and put it down. Switch to the other side. And down. Lift up and down. It's still oblique, so you're gonna feel this in your belly, especially after crisscross that we just did. Good, 2 more each side. Nice flat still back. Last one. Great, untuck your toes, sit back, stretch all the way out. Child's pose, right? Stretch it out. Good, we're coming onto our belly. Strengthen our low back with dart. I hope you can hear me, the wind just picked up. All right, we're gonna stay on our belly, pull your belly button up away from the mat. We're gonna find just a little bit of spine extension. So you're gonna lift your heart, not way up here, but kind of like halfway your max range. So your shoulders and chest are just lifted a little bit. Arms are down by your sides, palms facing the floor or the earth, wherever you are. Keep those shoulders pulled back a little, not over squeezing the shoulder blades, but definitely moving in that direction where the shoulder blades are gliding towards each other, opening the front of the chest. We're gonna pulse the arms up and down 50 times. It's a lot. You ready for this? Breathe. Don't hold your breath the whole time. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 2, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 3, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 20 more. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And last 10. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and great. Push yourself up and come on into high kneeling. That breeze feels wonderful. It's a gorgeous day here in Connecticut. All right, bring one foot out to the side. You're on your knees, hips stay level. So try not to get this thing going, but nice and level, yeah? And then hands behind your head. Your straight leg is anchored to the ground. Tummy is pulled in. Energy out the top of your head, grow taller. Inhale up and over, away from the straight leg. Exhale back up. Working the side body, right? 2, 3. Don't make it bigger than it needs to be. As soon as you start to tip in that direction, these muscles start to work. 3 more. 1, 2, 3. Bring that leg in. Switch to the other side. See, here it comes now. The slope is going to make this side a little harder. Maybe I should turn around and do another set when I'm done to even out. Pull the tummy in, hands behind your head, energy out, grow tall, grow tall, grow out of that knee. Anchor this foot up and over 8 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Come on out of that. Great job. Just a little bit of thigh work here. So we're going to finish up with your hips forward. It's called thigh stretch. You're going to hinge forward from your knees as you float the arms up. Keep the back still and then come back up. And hinge and up. Kind of the opposite of a bridge, right? Which we already did. So it's going to balance us out. 4 more and you are done. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So feel free to use this program however you see fit. I did about half with the travel stretching, half with the core work. So if you know that you have a 15-minute break and you just want to do some balanced core work, skip ahead until you see me come to the mat on this video, or vice versa. If you're traveling, you could pull this up and say, oh, let me watch the first 15 minutes. It's here as a resource to help you guys. I hope you enjoy it. Take care. Bye now.